You've got a visitor. This is Hosu's chief of police.
Amazing.
Surigame.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's React. I'm Kenny and this is my wife Montana.
And today we're going to be reacting to Season 2, Episode 18 of My Hero Academia, The Aftermath of Hero Killer Stain. I guess technically Aftermath could be he's just gone forever, but he's such a cool villain. Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah,
There's
you really like
no
Stain
way.
a whole lot. I'm gonna have to make a highlight reel of you supporting Stain. That'll be funny.
Kenny,
Like you just being like, wait, he's got a point. Wait.
there's such a massive,
Thank you for watching and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below for My Hero Academia coming every Sunday and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't wait and want to see these episodes right now in their extended full-length forms, they're all posted to Patreon. Are we excited for episode 18 of Season 2 of My Hero Academia?
absolutely.
All right, let's get it.
Let's go.
Dunderheads, this video was brought to you by the incredible members of the Let's React Patreon. If you want access to a ton of exclusive perks, check out the link in the description below. Have a good day, Twinkle Toes!
A dog?
I thought you'd like this episode. I told you.
Okay,
Yeah.
can you hear me in the studio?
Oh my goodness.
I'm reporting to you live from skies over Hosu City. It's unclear what's happening below, but take a look. Large clouds of smoke and fire are rising from different locations in the area. Is this due to a series of accidents, or have villains taken the streets? Currently, we have no info on the situation
series
here,
of accidents.
but our station
Yeah.
will continue reporting as this breaking story unfolds.
And cut.
Don't you dare stop filming. Wait, what in the world? Look,
At what?
right there. Check out the building with the water tower on top. Zoom in.
There's people.
Oh,
Two
boy.
of them.
Bystanders?
Shigaraki spotted.
How did they get up there?
Yes.
Just
Oh.
binoculars.
Yeah. Ew.
I wondered your thoughts on the scratching.
I really don't like it. You mean like what it could symbolize for his character?
Yeah.
Anxiety.
Are you satisfied with the results, Tomura Shigaraki?
Depends on tomorrow's headlines, moron.
And just like intense frustration to the degree that you hurt yourself.
On tomorrow's
Did you hear that?
Satisfied with the results, Tomura Shigaraki?
depends on tomorrow's headlines, moron.
Depends on tomorrow's headlines.
All right.
The aftermath of Hero Killer Stain.
We're at the hospital.
Did you sleep,
Okay.
Midoriya?
No, not really.
I figured. Me neither.
Thinking about that
It's
fight
nice that
now,
they have them in a room
I did
together.
something pretty amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
After everything that happened back there, it kind of feels like a miracle we're even alive. With my leg messed up, I was an easy target. He probably could have killed me if he really wanted to.
Yeah. Seems to me he let us both live on purpose. I'm impressed by you, though, Iida. He was actually trying to murder you, but you stood tall.
That's not true. I was... Oh, so the injured young'uns are awake.
Gran Torino!
Still not feeling
Okay.
great about
Manual
himself
too.
there.
Yeah.
Idiot! I could yell at you for hours right now.
Yeah, I'm
But
sorry.
before I do, you've got a visitor.
Okay.
This is Hosu's chief of police.
Amazing.
Surigame.
Surigame! The chief?
The chief of police.
No,
Yep.
please stay seated. Woof.
I thought
So, you're the UA students
That's
who brought down
funny.
the...
I said way back when you would like the police force more than other shows. This is why.
He could have
So,
stopped
you're
after.
the UA students who brought down the hero killer, huh?
We are. The police chief came all this way.
Why did they give the
Why?
dog a receding
Stain
hairline?
has some serious injuries. Severe burns and several broken bones.
Stain has it.
Okay.
Right now, he's in the hospital under strict guard. Woof. Here's a
Wow.
lesson you should have already learned. When quirks became the norm, the police force sought to maintain the status quo. They decided we wouldn't use quirks as weapons. That's when heroes came in. They could do what we couldn't, if they were licensed, of course. Woof. It would be impossible for the police to condone the use of deadly quirks. After all, we're here to stop such harm from being done. The only reason pros can use their powers now is because of the strict code of ethics that the early heroes chose to abide by. That's why it's against the law for uncertified people to use their quirks to cause injury. Whether you are up against the hero killer or not, none of you have the authority to harm the villain. That means the three of you, and your supervisors,
Oh no.
Endeavor, Manuel, and Gran Torino, sure to receive harsh punishments for this gross abuse of your powers.
Yep.
Now wait a minute.
That can't. That's
if Iida had
no.
not stepped in, Native would have been murdered. And if not for Midoriya, both of them would be dead. No one else even realized that the hero killer was in Hosu. Are you saying we should have
Like,
just
is
stood
them
by
being
and
in the
watched people
hospital
die?
not punishment enough? Yeah.
So it's okay to break the law as long as it goes your way?
That. Where did he say
But
that?
sir, isn't it a hero's job to save people?
This is why you're not a full-fledged pro yet. It's obvious UA and Endeavor haven't been teaching you near enough. What a shame.
You damn mutt!
Todoroki! Listen, he's right! Stop there, kid. You'll want to hear
Called
him
him
out till
mutt.
the end.
What
Damn.
I've said is the official stance of the police department. But any punishment would only be necessary if this went public. If it did, you'd probably be applauded by citizens everywhere. But there's no way you could escape from being reprimanded. On the other hand, we could say Endeavor saved the day. Stains Burns would support their story completely, and we could pretend you weren't involved. Woof. Thankfully, there were very few witnesses. This could be the last you heard of any punishments. It would mean no one would know about you, though. You'd receive no acclaim at all.
That's fine.
The choice is yours.
That's fine
Personally,
for
I know where I
Deku.
stand. I don't want to damage any promising young careers. Not for a mistake like this.
Either way, we'll need to take responsibility for being negligent as supervisors.
But yeah, before we keep going, what do you make of that whole idea?
Okay. I feel like it's gotta be one of those situations where, like, if you happen across something, okay, and I get the, like, you can't just have people going vigilante, but if someone else starts it, if a famous villain attacks someone, I think the fact that, like, they don't have their, like, hero license yet, that I don't think that they should be punished for that.
Think about it. Imagine somebody looks like they're pulling a gun and Deku just smashes them out the window and then they were grabbing like their wallet. You know what I mean? Like,
Right, so then he wasn't being threatened, so then he would get in trouble. But when they know for a fact that he was being threatened,
or let me do a different one. Imagine Deku's being threatened. He does a smash, destroys an apartment building and kills tons of people.
yeah, well then he should get in trouble for that, but he didn't.
It's the same law.
right, that's
The law,
stupid.
they couldn't be like, this is what he said. He said, what, you're mad because it went your way? Like, that's what he's saying is, if you had used them too deadly, we can't base it off of how good it goes, because then everybody's allowed to do it. You have to stop it. And I really sat down and thought about it, and like, it kind of has to be the law. You know what I mean? Like, I thought you would enjoy the, like, how it is fit into society type thing, you know?
No, it's super interesting.
Yeah, but they're not gonna punish them. He's just saying, we're not gonna tell anybody it was you.
Right.
So what do you make of that decision?
Yeah, that seems fine.
Yeah, but hey.
It's like you're technically in trouble, but, you know, we looked at it and you're fine. So
Yeah, it's a bit like how we
don't
are
do
with,
it again.
with Appa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For being negligent as supervisors.
I'm sorry. I should have listened.
Yeah, you caused us a lot of trouble. Remember that and don't do it
Smack.
again.
Sir.
And
Fuck
I
is Endeavor gonna
apologize as
say?
well.
Yeah.
Me too. We'll leave it to you.
I know it's not fair. You won't enjoy any of the fame and praise you probably would have received otherwise. But at least, allow me, as the chief of police, to thank you.
You know, you could have started with that.
He's like, dang, I wish I didn't call you a mutt. That was
None of
uncalled
us
for.
knew we'd
Yeah,
end up
I'm
fighting
sorry
in
about
back
that.
alley. And in the end, no one else would find out. But the implications of that battle would continue to eat at us, even after our wounds had healed.
Whoa, they arrested the hero killer. Awesome. Seriously? Who took him down?
Okay, so this is the
Just what you'd
headline
expect
that's
from
gonna
the number
be
2 hero.
important to Shigaraki.
Yep.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Now our continuing coverage. 3 villains were captured in the Hosu riots. Their identities and motives are yet unknown. Based on their distinctive appearance, however, and the presence of 2 people or reporters filmed nearby, many are speculating they're connected to the League of Villains that attacked UA High last month.
Interesting.
Putting together the dots.
In fact, he has more victims than any other criminal since All Might burst into the scene. With his arrest, everyone in the country can rest a little easier tonight.
Who's that?
The seriously wounded hero killer is currently receiving treatment at a hospital under heavy police guard. Officials are awaiting the recovery of several of his victims before further investigating the villain's motives.
We're back talking about the criminal who
Oh
surely
my goodness.
left his mark on Japan, if not the world. The hero killer Stain. Why did he do it? What did he hope to gain? Don't be shy. We're taking calls and want to hear your thoughts.
I'm coming to you live from Echo Street in Hosu City. Last night, just after 8 p.m., the hero killer Stain was arrested by Endeavor on this very floor.
So
is this a good news or bad news?
people are listening to it.
Okay. No one cares about the Nomus.
Nobody cares.
Once this night is over, the world will have forgotten you ever existed. Not only have they not forgotten,
That did not go
the
well.
front page.
All right. So it was about Nomu attention.
Yes. I can't give stuff
Okay.
away.
All right.
Let's take a moment to talk about the incident last night in Hosu. The hero killer Stain was arrested. There were also incidents with villains who resembled Nomu from the UA attack. You're likely worried how this all stitches together. Well, I too am concerned. People tend to come apart at the seams in times like this. That's why we heroes must remain calm despite our fears. Don't let chaos tempt you into thoughtless overreaction. Remember, we're here to protect others, not seek out vengeance. It'll be business as usual today. Standard material. May your minds and bodies be as sharp as your genes.
Thank you, best genist! Damn it, I'm so ready to get out of this place.
His hair.
Todoroki wrote me back.
So funny. It looks good.
That location he sent was in the middle of the action in Hosu. That's why he messaged us. Man, am I glad I reported it.
Hey! Put that down before Fourth Kind sees you. We're gonna be late.
1 sec, I want to reply.
What did I say about punctuality?
Right, sorry, sir.
Come on, time to patrol.
Yes, sir!
No matter how damaged your hair is, our new formula is sure to deeply penetrate each strand. Such shine, such volume, such luxury. Easy curls with just 1 spritz.
Their faces.
Uneri
Yeah.
hairspray. Come on, ladies, ride the waves. They sure put that together fast. This is just the first cut, so it'll be another month before it airs. It needs lots of CGI.
So weird. We'll be on TV.
We're heroes. This is just what it takes to be a pro.
So, how about we go patrol?
All right, we're actually doing something.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, that's so scary. Well, I'm just glad you guys are okay. I got really nervous when the only thing you sent was your location.
Yeah, sorry about that, but it's all I really had time to send.
Don't worry, sounds like you went through a lot. You get some rest. I want to hear everything later.
Thanks.
Gravity? We're about to start.
Oh, sorry. I'll see you back at school. I hope I didn't bother you much. Bye.
Was that a boy?
Yeah, but it's not like that.
Gunhead is just.
I can't believe I talked to a girl on the phone! It's like she was whispering in my ear.
Oh my god. That's funny.
Deku's just at New Frontier.
Iida, I just talked to Uraraka.
Midoriya.
What?
Iida just got his test results back.
My left hand
What test?
might have damage that's permanent.
No.
What? Permanent?
We gotta have the. I love the like post big event wrap up episodes. You
Oh
know?
yeah.
Permanent damage?
Both my arms were pretty torn up, but the injury to my left arm was especially severe. The damage was to my brachial plexus, which just means I'll have trouble moving my fingers, and my hand might have some numbness. Apparently, there's a chance it could be healed with nerve transplant surgery.
Okay.
When I came across the hero killer, I stopped thinking rationally. The first thing I should have done was call Manuel. But I got lost in my own anger.
You're completely blinded by a selfish desire for revenge. You're about as far away from being a hero as I can imagine.
I hate him so much, but I can't deny he spoke the truth. That's why, until I'm able to call myself a real hero, I'll leave my left hand as it is.
Are you sure?
Okay.
Maybe.
It's that classic anime thing of letting an injury represent a mistake, and
he's already accepted
only when
what
you've
happened.
corrected it.
It would be selfish to make this about me.
But
Iida, I feel the same way. My hand is a reminder too. Let's get stronger. Together.
Going for the fist bump when he has casts on. He's like, I cannot.
Okay, great.
Let me just headbutt you.
Yeah.
I feel kind of bad.
About what?
Whenever I'm involved, someone's hand gets all messed up. Is something wrong with me? Am I cursed?
You.
Todoroki, I didn't know you had a sense of humor.
This isn't a joke. I'm like the hand crusher or something.
The hand crusher!
Thoughts on that whole scene and just that end part too?
Okay, so I don't know if this is just like me way overthinking a trope that's...
Shouldn't he have it would make him a better hero if he had full use of his body, is that what you're gonna
That's
say?
exactly what I was gonna say. You would be
For a
able to
fact,
say...
I knew at that scene you were gonna go, actually, if we're going for optimum capacity.
Okay, I'm just saying, if your whole deal is like, I'm gonna stop only thinking about me and just do everything I can to be the best hero I can and save the most people possible, and then you're like, but I'm gonna not use one of my appendages as...
Okay, he's had some trouble moving fingers and a little numbness.
I'm gonna not use my hand because that's a lesson to me. I need that
You're ridiculous.
lesson.
I knew. This is why I told you several times prior to this episode. I was like, Montana, did you know there's a trope in anime where people, and you were like, and they got to, you're like, that doesn't make sense. Did I not literally tell you this? In casual conversation, I
forgot
snuck
that was
it in there. I was like, let's preface this so she doesn't have this happen, and you had to do it. I know you too well. I love you.
I love you.
Sandy.
That's funny.
Like sandpaper.
That's me.
Can't let anything slide.
Anything slide.
Yeah, but anyway, as you know, that's this channel. But anyway.
Phone call is here. A phone call is here.
Perfect.
It's
That's ringtone.
He can't possibly be serious with that
It's the
ringtone.
funniest thing ever.
What? Hi, sir.
You could have warned me about Izuku Midoriya. I know it probably couldn't be helped.
The way he got,
thanks to him, I'm
he
getting
stood
a
up
pay
when he
cut,
got on the
and
phone.
my teaching
That's so
license is
funny.
being suspended for 6 months.
No.
His tendency to jump into situations without thinking is just like yours, Toshinori.
I humbly apologize, sir.
Sorry.
It's because of my insufficient teaching. I can't believe my protege caused you so much trouble. Oh man, this is bad.
Well, I don't care about my teaching license anymore. You're the only reason I got it, and that was so I could keep my promise to your predecessor, Shimura.
And I truly appreciate all you did for me. It's only because of your wisdom and
Name
kindness
drop
that I'm
there.
the #1 hero today.
If that's true, then why don't you ever visit me?
Well, it's just that my new life as a teacher keeps me so busy.
I actually called to talk about the hero killer. I saw him only briefly in person, but in that short amount of time, he shook me to my very core. There is such hatred inside of that man.
I can't believe he was able to frighten someone like you, Gran Torino. You must have already been tied up, so what scared you?
It probably stemmed from his fanatic ideology. There was something very intimidating about his obsession. I'm not trying to praise him or anything, but he's got the same determination as you when it comes to your symbol of peace thing. There's similarities.
What do you mean?
To put it simply, you've both got charisma. As the investigation continues, his ideology and opinions will be all over the media. Everyone will want to know his
How
motives.
does he have charisma?
The age we live in, for better or for worse, is one of suppression. There will be people across the globe who are influenced by these new ideas.
If that's true and he inspires copycat villains, they'll probably strike out on their own.
Heroes will be able to stop him just like they did this time.
That's where the League of Villains comes in.
The Hosu incident suggests that Stain and the League are connected somehow.
That means the League will go from being thought of as a bunch of juvenile delinquents that attacked UA to being recognized as a group with an ideology.
In other words, these new converts
That's
will
their
seek them
charisma.
out.
Okay.
The philosophy.
Even if each individual is insignificant, if that evil gathers under one banner, it will swell to unstoppable proportions. If the villain in charge knew this would happen from the beginning, then he is a brilliant strategist.
He's steadily getting rid of any obstacles one by one, trying to create conditions that will favor his own purpose.
When I heard from Suguichi that Nomu had multiple quirks, I had a bad feeling. What if he's back?
You're concerned it could be the man who killed Shimura, my sworn friend, your master and the previous holder of One for All. The man who opened that hole in your stomach. You're afraid the villain named All for One is on the rise again.
There's a villain with the opposite name.
Such injuries, though.
And he put the hole in his stomach.
Uh-huh.
And he injured him.
Toshinori,
Yeah.
that child admires you so wholly and fiercely. You should
Got
find the time
full
to
body
tell him
chills here.
everything concerning you and One for All. Be honest. He deserves to know the truth.
Okay.
Thoughts on that?
Okay, so that's why he kept correcting me every
When you were
time
like,
I was
all
called.
for one, and you're like, no, the power in this show, and I was like,
Yup. That's funny.
and Stain's philosophy potentially spreading.
Yeah. The implications of that are very scary.
Yeah, and I'll count you as somebody who was influenced by him. You literally were like, wait, he's actually kind of right. Like, that's what they're describing.
Yeah.
It was
but
funny
like,
that you did that.
Like, you can't just kill people because you don't agree with them. I feel like if you're talking about like the ant criminals who are just like going around killing people, they're doing that for their personal gain. Like, people who are committing crimes like that are not doing it for shits and giggles. The fact that when Stain and Shigaraki were interacting, Stain was like almost disgusted, like just like genuinely like revolted by that kind of idea. I feel like if someone was going to be on a team with him, they would need to share that philosophy, and that doesn't, like, making the world better through getting rid of bad people doesn't fit into the like petty criminal narrative.
We'll have to see, but I just would point out that you were won over to him having a good point, and that alone means that some people might be impacted. But also, I need to ask you, what do you think about the All for One reveal? And, the fact that All for One killed Shimura, the previous One for All user.
And really, really, really damaged All Might.
Yeah.
They have fought, and All Might took a bunch of damage from All for One. But the injuries that All for One took, I was assuming came from the predecessor. Because if the predecessor died and All Might was like fucked up but lived, my assumption would be that the primary damage was done by the person who was killed.
Interesting. And I think that I don't even know this. I'm not going to say anything, actually. Continuing. You're trying to sucker me in. You're trying.
That's me.
Yeah. But anyway, All for One. Yeah, he's definitely an important person. So when you kept accidentally mistaking it, it was really, really funny.
That is funny.
Everybody was like, oh my god.
2 days after the Hosu incident, the hero killer's identity and motives started being dissected from various angles.
You know, lately it's been hard finding people to do business with. My buddies all complain about not being able to sell stuff. It's a real pain.
That's because it's a serious crime to develop or sell support items and costumes if you don't have a license. On top of that, there have been rumors that legit support companies have actually been selling extra gear on the black market to people who aren't certified heroes.
Oh, wow.
Man, I missed the days before All Might. And I was still small time back then. Remember when villains were wild and impulsive? Everyone thought they could take over the world. It was a real good time. But when All Might showed up, everything changed and got so damn boring. Can't have any fun when that pillar of justice is around. Maybe it's time for me to finally call it quits.
Don't be rash. Listen, just between you and me, I know of a way to make some real cash. Keep this on the down low. I'm only telling you because I know your guys have quality goods to sell. Have you seen this yet?
Huh? What's that?
It's a video of the hero killer. He's hot right now.
Kill the hero stain.
Real name, Chizame Akaguro. As a child, he was greatly inspired by All Might's debut. He enrolled in a private hero high school, but was dismayed by what he viewed as the educational system's skewed understanding of what it meant to be a hero. Throughout his teenage years, Chizame advocated for a return to the early days of heroes, but quickly realized that words had no power. For the next 10 years, he trained in killing techniques in order to fulfill his self-appointed duty. During this time, his parents passed away in what police eventually ruled as a tragic accident. His focus was on a return to the old days. He believed heroes should not seek compensation, that one should epitomize the idea of self-sacrifice. He believed that present-day pros were frauds. Through his violent purges, he hoped society would eventually side with him.
These streets must run with the blood of hypocrites.
They got a video of it.
Hero! I will reclaim that word. Come on! Just try and stop me, you fakes! There is only one man I'll let kill me. He is a true hero. All Might is worthy!
This keeps getting uploaded and immediately taken down online, but they can't stop it. It's not hard to see. This guy is really stirring something in people. From villains with countless convictions to felons on the run, all the major players, including me, are watching. It's infectious.
Do you feel it?
I don't think the heroes realize what's awakening. The evil that was once quiet and scattered now has a rallying cry that's calling out to it.
Oh.
Individual criminals are seeking out the organization that the hero killer stain was connected to. They're all headed to the League of Villains.
Because they associate them because he was in the area, spotted.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
And that is where we are left for episode 18 of season 2. What do you think?
Wow.
Yeah, a news villain caught him and he almost cried like a baby.
Oh.
What did you say?
His hair went back.
No. We just yelled at a bunch of kids.
Got you reeling.
I'm just like sorting everything that just
big lore,
happened.
big
yeah.
lore. Yeah. My hero does explain stuff really well.
They really do. It did seem like from what we saw, the people who were being kind of converted to Stain's side or like rallying behind Stain were all already villains. Like it didn't seem like your like average Joe like person who's just like existing in the world.
Yeah.
Well, and how is Shigaraki gonna take all of these people showing up and being like, hey, so this Stain guy, love him. Like,
that's another good point. Lots of good points all around, but we'll just have to see how that shakes out. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below if you're excited for more episodes of My Hero Academia coming every Sunday and Friday. If you can't wait and want to see these episodes now, they're all posted in their extended full-length forms. We have a lot to discuss before we do that. Where are we headed?
All right, let's review.
Thanks for watching. For now, we're going to go to questions given to us by our amazing Patreon members. If you want to ask us questions after every episode and generally just support the channel, Patreon is the best place for that. Join at any level and you can start asking us questions after every single episode we watch. For now, let's go to question 1. Question 1, Josh asks, do you think the chief of police has a point when it comes to the crew bringing down Stain? Woof. I kind of think that... Oh, wow. They really is full on woof at the end of,
right.
I kind of think about it in terms of firearms in our world. Woof. They all have
skip.
Yeah. I don't know if I will though. They all have very dangerous powers if misused, and even in a life-threatening situation, should someone like Deku accidentally leap too hard or make a bad call, he could break someone in half or kill them. Agree or disagree? Woof.
Okay, I agree with the general principle. I feel like in that specific situation, what they did was necessary, but again, that's only because it ended up working out correctly. And if they had, accidentally killed a bunch of people, then, it wouldn't have been the correct move. With that being said, I don't think Deku and kind of everyone who's in that situation had a choice. So I kind of think you're gonna get reprimanded for it and you're not gonna get any credit for it, but you're fine, is kind of the most responsible way to go about handling that, so that you don't end up with a situation where a villain is doing tons of damage and then there are all of these very powerful children with quirks, but because they don't have their license, they can't do anything for fear of being reprimanded to the degree of losing their career. And then
they're still in that situation. That's the way it is.
Right. No, but
they got lucky there were no witnesses.
But in a situation where they kept that mentality with no exceptions, then I feel like there would end up being a situation where people could be saved and then they wouldn't be because of this policy that the police have. But again, the way that was handled kind of just dissolved that issue. So
yeah, it's a bit, I think it's a little shady that they just swept it under the rug. If you have a law, it's kind of hard to do that. But I get in that situation, but it kind of makes you think about Stain's sort of are you guys real heroes, or are you kind of bending the rules?
100%.
And speaking of which, Markov L. Jaden asks, why do you think that video of Stain has gone viral and connected to so many villains?
I think the idea of villains with quirks connecting with Stain's philosophy in this universe is super, super interesting, because think about if you were growing up as a kid with a quirk and you wanted to use it for good, because very few people come out of the womb just wanting to do damage. And typically there are other physical things that explain in those situations. But if you didn't get the training you need or couldn't get the licensing for whatever reason, and so you end up using your quirk for evil. And so that's just kind of the way you think about yourself. But then someone points out, hey, everyone else is also just kind of using their quirk to benefit themselves.
Yeah.
They're just doing it in a way that the bureaucrats super high up have deemed to be fine. But if you really look at it, they're just being selfish as well. So I can see how that, especially if that's something you've been living with since you were a kid, I can see why that would be really, really validating.
Yeah. It's definitely a really interesting thing that it's reaching out to so many different people. And also the fact that they're trying to repress it and it keeps coming back, that is going to make it even worse.
And it's 100%, because the second people start hearing, oh, there's this thing and it keeps getting deleted, watch it while you can, that's gonna ensure that everyone sees it. But also, when people see that video and it's someone going, hey, the heroes are corrupt, and then the government is trying to get rid of that video, where does that leave you?
Yeah. I'm so interested for you to see the ripples and repercussions.
Yay.
If there are any. Not spoiling if there are any. But let's go to our final question. Final question. Jinchurki87 asks, we've gotten a big clue into the potential mastermind of the villains, a man named All For One. Now you see Kenny's obsession with correcting your terminology.
That's so funny.
What do you think of his abilities? And it's funny because you were like, no, All For One is a thing. And I'm like,
I know it is.
It's a thing. Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? I'm just hearing. That's funny.
But what do you think could be his abilities, and just general thoughts about how they described it?
Okay, my intuition is that it has to be the inverse or the opposite of One For All. And if One For All is based on the idea of just trying harder and just not giving up, and even in the face of just truly being heroic, then maybe the opposite of that is someone who channels all of the worst parts of people in those kinds of situations. When something that really stuck with me was someone, God, I don't even remember where I saw this, but basically it was after some disaster, and an individual said, when something like this happens, look for the helpers, because there are always people running into the shit show. And there are also people in those situations who will take advantage of the chaos for their own benefit and rob a store while some, big thing is happening. And so if One For All is the helpers running in, not thinking about, I might die, this, I can't think about my own well-being, but not even having the thought, I can't think about my own well-being, because it's so instant.
Yeah.
That the opposite of that would be just the human urge to not be heroic. like to save yourself.
Yep. That's an interesting thought. They've also... Nope.
This is my favorite.
I can't.
I love this.
I just have the machine in my head, and with All for One, I don't think I'm allowed to really say anything. Not that he's that important. Or maybe he is. Or maybe he's not. Or maybe in the middle. Or maybe another option.
Or maybe he's not real at all.
Yeah, maybe the All for One is the friends we made along the way.
Exactly.
But anyway, that's about it for this episode. Are we excited for episode 19 of My Hero Academia Season 2?
Can't wait.
All right, let's get it.
Let's go.